2022, a year full of change and growth. A year filled with laughs, excitement, tears, and being carelessly free. A year filled with figuring out what kind of person I want to be, traveling the world, and learning the harsh truths about life. Throughout 2022, I went through so many experiences that brought out different sides of me that I never even knew. Constantly, my head was overwhelmed with the thoughts of, what should I be doing next? What's the next big step for the life ahead of me? Am I working towards the life that I want to live? And most importantly, am I happy? I stand by the phrase that everything happens for a reason, and all that I went through has led to the Kayla I am today. So, I wanted to give a recap of 2022 because honestly, it was the worst, but also the best year of my life. The beginning. I start off the year strong with attending my favorite group's concert, ATEEZ, and coincidentally, the name of the tour was The Beginning of the End, which perfectly described my year. Start off the year strong, but it slowly started to crumble. During my time in spring semester, I realized that I wasn't happy with what I was studying anymore, and I slowly started to fall out of passion for anything. This opened the door to one of the darkest places in my mind, which I never knew could have been opened. And at the time, I was unsure on how to get out of something that I didn't enjoy, and I'd rather stay in this comfort than exploring out into uncertainty. I kept lying to myself that this is what I was meant to do in my life, that this is what's making my parents happy and proud, so I should stay, even if it torments me inside and out. I'm the eldest in my family. Constantly, eyes were always on me, like what is she gonna do next? What is she finally gonna pursue? Where is life gonna take her? And will she be successful? Everyone was eager to see how I would turn out to be. I was torn between keeping my parents happy or work towards my own goals once I figured it out. I officially decided to take a leave of absence from my university and use this time to travel and truly discover who I really am and how I want to live my life. I made it my goal to stop planning for the future and to truly live in the moment because sometimes you just have to step back and see what's happening around you, and I needed to give myself a chance to look around. Hopelessness struck me throughout the first half of the year, but things started to get better. On a random Saturday night, I received news that I'd be meeting my favorite group, ATEEZ, which made me the happiest girl in the world. The whole fansign experience made my entire year. Telling each one of the members how thankful I was and just stirring up conversations was the best 10 minutes of my life. In the late days of August, I suddenly found myself packing my 2 large suitcases and moved across the globe to Seoul, South Korea for 3 months. It was finally the start of a new chapter in my life. The first time living away from my parents, the first time traveling solo, and the first time truly living my life. Seoul is such a beautiful city, and I felt my time there wasn't enough. Every time I stepped out, I found something that inspired me. I felt like I didn't need anything at all except to see and experience more. The city was so full of life that sometimes you don't know where you fit in. It was a place where I was able to grow, change, and reset. Being in Seoul was a unique and very much needed experience at this point in my life. I felt free and independent and was finally able to do the things that I wanted to do. Seoul became my second home, and I definitely left a part of me there. But my time in Seoul was not all sunshines and rainbows. I celebrated my 21st birthday in Seoul, but birthdays are bittersweet for me, not because I'm getting older, but rather I feel the loneliest on these days, even when I'm surrounded by people. I thought that by celebrating my birthday in one of my favorite cities and with friends, it would be the best one after all my shitty ones. Friends come and go, and I learned it the hard way. I learned that people can change, which I have no control over, and I shouldn't beat myself down for it. It led me to an even stronger Kayla today. It led me to solo travel, which I hated the idea of at first, but it was truly something that I never knew I needed. It was a way for me to finally be comfortable with just myself. And once you learn how to enjoy things by yourself, you become the most powerful person in the room. I truly regret not bringing myself to explore certain cities or places because I simply didn't have someone with me. But now I learned that it's okay, and not everyone will be available or want to go with you. As an introvert myself, being alone is one of my specialties. But being alone from family and friends that are across the world is a different type of lonely. The world seems to be designed for extroverts. Quote, "The art of being alone is about having a good relationship with yourself, liking yourself enough to enjoy being alone." I was in a sort of forced solitude where I learned how to become my own friend. During my trip, I met and crossed paths with so many amazing people, to the point where I truly believe that everything in my life happened for a reason, and that life just fits into place. I made friends from around the world, and I fell in love with Seoul. It's kind of crazy how you can meet someone in one specific time frame in your life, and if you never went or been there at that same exact time, you wouldn't have met. Life just falls into place so suddenly. So thank you, Seoul, for teaching me how to be comfortable with myself, teaching me how to get out of my comfort zone and move to a country where I barely speak the language or have any friends, and for teaching me that I'm never alone, even if I do feel it at times. And with that, this chapter of my life closes. Coming back from Seoul, I found myself struggling to adapt back to, quote, normal life. Once you start to travel, you can't look at normal life the same. 2 months later, I found myself packing my bags and traveling back to Asia, but this time to the motherland. First stop was Singapore, and I was living my crazy rich Asian dream, minus the crazy rich part. Next stop was the motherland, the Philippines. It had been so long since reconnecting with my Filipino roots, and I learned so much on this trip. Staying in my parents' hometown, Vigan City, was a different kind of nostalgia. It really opened my eyes and outlook on life, and I'm truly grateful to be where I am currently. Throughout the year, my mind was constantly consumed with what it truly means to be successful. Coming from immigrant parents, I was taught that being successful is equivalent to a high-paying profession. I'm never going to figure out how to perfect my existence because I was never meant to be perfected. I finally came to terms with what it truly means to be successful. It doesn't always mean having the highest position in the company or making the largest amount of money. I truly realized being successful is being able to wake up happy every day and work towards your own goals once you've figured it out. The most important thing in my life for me right now is to be happy, to celebrate the little things every day, and to take every opportunity that life hits you with. In reality, I'm never really going to figure things out. I'm never going to figure out why things happen to me, but I will be able to figure out the foods I like, what kind of people I want by my side. I will figure out the places that make my soul feel at home. It won't be easy. It won't always make sense, and I know I won't always have control. I still have so much more to discover and experience that I'm only getting started. Thank you, 2022. I'm unsure what the year of 2023 will bring me, but all I know is that I'm ready.